Our methodology is based on the internal logic of the game, not in a system. We train in all situations that can occur during a game. During a game, there will always be phases of construction, possession, finishing, offensively and defensively. Independent of the system, a player is good when he has the ability to understand the game and knows how to respond properly to any situation, regardless of the system and context, when he can keep his levels of performance independent of these contexts. Through adaptation to the characteristics of the context, we establish a game model based on methodology specific to game objectives. The game model helps to develop the player, and by consequence, the team. A player never trains or plays alone. They are always immersed within a group dynamic in the context of a team. How do we structure ourselves and start the construction of a program? Our framework begins with the development of the player, starting at age 6. We use a holistic approach, nurturing the player as well as the person. Our program employs distinct phases, principles, and objectives. The training structure moves from simple to complex steps and contents in the training, progressing by age, so that 5 objectives in the youngest, 10 in the feeders, and 75 on the full-time program. Always bearing in mind that if you cannot control your body, you cannot control the ball. So perhaps you will understand what must be done in the game, but not be able to execute the action. We have an annual periodization, but in specific mesocycles and microcycles. Above all, we specify the content to the age. We prioritize all contents in a specific and precise manner so that all stimuli are introduced at an appropriate time and in accordance with healthy player development. Our training model is based on a particular mode of communication, technical direction, coach, and player. And the concept is that everyone has one language, that all concepts have an associated image and not just one word. I hear, I forget. I remember, I see, I do, and I learn. So we have weekly and continuous meetings with the coaches and with the players, football learning program for the players. The training session has a specific progressive internal structure within itself, including automation, decision-making, context situation, and application to game situations. Adapted to the phases of development of the player, 2 steps with the youngest, 3 with the feeders, and 4 on the full-time program. Additionally, we have specific situation-based training to respond to consistent in-game needs, such as line work, positional work, individual potential player program, among other things. Apart from traditional and regular models of competition, we create parallel competitions that are designed to respond to specific objectives. Throughout the process, we constantly evaluate the work, the training as well as the player, in general and in the competition. We also try to evaluate the best position for the player during their development. Our whole way of working has the fundamental principle to collect and transform all that is subjective into objective and measurable factors. We have a rigorous system of gathering very dynamic data. After reviewing all the information, individual, player, and team information, We generate reports and lines of work to be shared between the coach and the player, technique, direction, coach, and player. We define the strengths and weaknesses and adapt the work for the individual and the collective. This information we will use to create maps of players and lines of succession. These maps will refer us to the first and last step of the process, the scouting. We begin and end our program with our scouting. Each player is a project. The team is the platform. If you want to be the best, you have to learn the best.